Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Book Talk Tuesdays. I'm Miss Jessica, and I'm one of the youth and teen librarians at the Chelsea District Library. This is our video show featuring new books for independent readers ages 8 to 12. And I'm back with a special guest returning for part 2 of our Read-alike episode.
Hi, I'm Lissa Kruger. I'm a student at Beach Middle School.
Welcome back, Lissa. So we are going to resume part 2 of our popular read-alike. So if you love books like Harry Potter or Magic Tree House, and you maybe need to take a break, maybe you've been rereading them, but you just want to try something different, we have some great suggestions for you. Now, my first one is a read-alike for the Mercy Watson books by Kate DiCamillo, which is a wonderful early chapter book series, great for family read-alouds or for kids who are just starting chapter books on their own. There's only a handful of books in the series, though. There's only 6 books, and there is a spin-off series, but that one only has 5 or 6 books too. So if you just need more, here's a great option. It's called Horace and Bullwinkle by P.J. Gardner. This book is a little bit longer than the Mercy Watson books. It's a full-length chapter book. There are still some illustrations, though, which I really loved. And this is a really funny book, just like the Mercy Watson books. It's about a dog named Horace. He is a terrier, and his owner, Ellie, decides to move from the city to the country and live and work on a farm. Horace is just horrified by this. He does not like dirt, and he's really worried about keeping Ellie safe with so much space around, and he's got to take care of all of those farm animals too. They're going to be his responsibility too. Soon, Ellie adopts a pet pig named Bullwinkle, called Winky for short, and Bullwinkle is just like Mercy. She's very sweet and charming and sometimes too curious for her own good. So there's a problem in their community. Somebody is stealing animals, and Horace and Bullwinkle decide to team up to solve this mystery. They've got to keep Ellie safe no matter the cost, right? So it's super funny. It's very charming and sweet. It reminded me a little bit of the funny parts of Charlotte's Web too. So if you like funny stories about pigs and dogs, this is a great choice for you. The best part is there's a number 1 on the spine, which means it's going to be a longer series too.
Hey, my next book is Elven Link, Please Report to the Principal's Office. It has a long title. It's by Drew Durnovic, I don't know. It's about a boy named Elvin. It's a read-alike for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and it goes through his adventures in 5th grade. He has 2 older sisters, and there's a boy named Peter Zorber, and he's the wedgie master, and Elvin has to figure out how to get field day to happen without going to summer school.
Oh, that sounds like a big challenge.
Yeah.
I think the more kind of school stories that focus on friendships, the better. So that sounds like a great one to read if you've blown through all the Wimpy Kid books and need something new, for sure.
Yeah.
So my next book is the Ranger in Time series by Kate Messner. Now, last time in part 1 of this episode, I talked about Kate Messner's nonfiction series as a read-alike to the I Survived books. And she brings her same fact-checking and nose for historical details to this Ranger in Time series. It's a great read-alike for the Magic Tree House books, actually. And it's kind of around the same reading level. So if you've read all the Magic Tree House books and are just waiting for that next one to come out and want to start a new series, Ranger in Time is a good choice. The one I read is called Journey Through Ash and Smoke. And instead of Jack and Annie traveling through time, it's a dog named Ranger. He was trained as a search and rescue dog, but he never finished his training because he just loves to chase squirrels a little too much. So he never got fully certified, but he's had most of the training. And previously, kind of how his origin story starts is he found and dug up an old metal first aid kit, and that's how he first traveled through time. So whenever the kit starts to kind of glow and shake, he knows that somebody in the past needs his help. And in Journey Through Ash and Smoke, he's pulled back to the age of the Vikings. So long time ago, back to the Vikings. He meets a girl named Helga, and she lives in a region where there's a lot of volcanic activity. So lots of earthquakes, lots of rumblings, volcanoes on the verge. And at first, he's super confused because Helga kind of seems to have everything under control. She actually ends up helping him get out of some bad situations. But one night, a nearby volcano is threatening to erupt. And it's the same night that Helga's mother, who is pregnant with a new baby, is going into labor. So that's when Ranger is finally able to come to the rescue. And just like Jack and Annie in the Magic Treehouse books, Ranger always makes it back home safe and sound.
Sounds really cool. My next book is Words on Fire by Jennifer Nielsen. It's a read life for an author, Alan Gratz. And it's about a girl named Audra who lives in Lithuania. Russian soldiers trying to make it into all Russia. They aren't allowed to speak Lithuanian, and her name is actually Lithuanian, so she can't go by her name. It means storm. One night, her parents, their house is burnt down by Russian soldiers. She escapes into the woods, and before her mother gets captured, she gives her a book and says that she has to take this to a woman. And her parents are actually underground book savers. They take books and they deliver them to people to keep them reading a thing. Yeah. And she has to deliver books, and it's good.
That sounds really good. Jennifer Nelson, she has a couple other World War II and similar style stories. So Alan Gratz writes a lot of World War II stories as well. So I think that if you've read all his books, Jennifer Nelson's going to be the next one on your list for sure. So my last book just came out last month. It's called Dragon Mountain by Katie and Kevin Singh. And it's going to be the first book in a trilogy. They have it all planned out. There's going to be 3 books total. And it's about a kid named Billy who lives in California. He is super bummed out because his parents are sending him to an educational camp in China instead of surf camp with all his friends. That doesn't sound so bad to me, but it definitely wasn't what he was expecting for his summer. And when he gets to camp, he and a few friends discover that there's a mountain nearby that has some folklore surrounding it, but it's not just made up. It's real. There are dragons living under the mountain. They're trapped there by an evil force, and it's both destroying the dragon realm and the human realm. So this is like no good for anybody. And there are so many dragon books out there. There's Wings of Fire. There's Dragon Masters for younger readers. There's Aragon, which is kind of like the original dragon series, right? And this one still manages to take a new spin on dragon lore. So if you think you've read all the dragon books out there and you want a new one, there's a brand new one for you. Almost every chapter ends on a cliffhanger, so it really, really keeps you reading and keeps you turning those pages to see what's going to happen next. I thought it was great. Can't wait for book 2.
Yeah, my next book is Story Thieves, which is a real life for Land of Stories.
Nice.
It's about a boy named Owen who sees one of his classmates coming out of a book.
Like crawling out of a book?
Coming out of a book. She can travel into books. And she's searching for her dad, who is lost somewhere in the books. She is half fictional, so she can go into the books.
That's like, I think that might have been my dream in 4th and 5th grade.
Yeah, they end up, Owen wants to go into his favorite series, but Bethany, the girl who can travel into books, won't let him. So he hatches a plan. He figures out how to trick her into letting him go in, and eventually he ends up making the story all wrong. So he has to figure out how to fix it, and he ends up pretending he's the main character and going through it to fix it.
Wow, that sounds really good. So I bought that book for the library, but I knew it was going to be a popular choice, but I didn't really know what it was about. So now I'm going to read that. I'm going to put that on my TBR list, my to be read list for sure. Well, thank you so much, Lissa, for joining me for this massive 2-part episode of Read-Alikes for Popular Series. If you want to put any of these books on hold to check out from the library, you can call a librarian at 734-475-8732, extension 219, or email us at ref@chelseadistrictlibrary.org, and we'll help you out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.